The moment you realize the next step isn't going to kill you, and that next step is the first step to evolving, changing, growing, and learning, and becoming literally the best version of yourself, that's the most beautiful thing. It's not going to kill you. And putting yourself in the game, you're giving yourself an opportunity to achieve something that everybody else said was impossible.
You might be thinking, my brokenness and my experiences and my trials disqualify me. When you commit your life to Christ, those things can be used by the Lord to reach others. The Lord uses the broken to reach the broken.
This is a new day. There are new victories, new opportunities, new relationships. Quit living in what was and come over into what is. Right now, there is freedom for you. Right now, there are new beginnings, joy, peace, victory. And crying over what happened yesterday doesn't bring freedom. Living in regrets of what you could have been, what you should have done, doesn't do anything productive. It's time to drop it and move forward.
See, here's the thing. Don't grow distant from Jesus. All of us have friends. All of us have people that time and life has kind of gotten in the way, and things have grown distant, maybe literally distant, or maybe just emotionally, but don't grow distant from Jesus.
We did something and we want to undo it, but it can't be undone. Or we said something and we want to take it back, but it seems too late now. Or we didn't say something and we wish we would have, but now it seems too late. We missed our opportunity. Or we didn't do something and we should have, and now the weight of what we didn't do feels so heavy. It's always weighing us down and holding us back. It is the chain of regret, and it follows us everywhere. And you don't even know what it is to be free from it. It's just become normal. Or maybe that chain from the past is the chain of bitterness and anger because of what was done to you, and it wasn't right, and somebody owes you something. They owe you an explanation, or they owe you a childhood, or they owe you a marriage, or they owe you an apology. They owe you something, and you're just carrying that "you owe me" chain around with you everywhere you go, and it's just become part of your life.
Trouble in life is inevitable. Bad chapters in life are inevitable. Bad scenes in the story of your life are inevitable, but misery is a choice. Misery is an option. It's your choice. It's not mandatory. It's not required. And I want to encourage you, misery and unhappiness are not required. Misery and unhappiness are a choice. And we can make the choice today to live miserably through our life story, or we can live with joy through our life story. We can live in misery, or we can live in joy, and we can be happy, and it's a choice. No one has the power to make you unhappy. No one has the power to control your life. We only give people the power over our lives by the choices we make to wait for them to make us happy. Or we can choose to be happy because God is with us through our toughest times, through our toughest trials, and through our life story.
The realization of the presence of the Lord with us. What a great comfort to have the Lord say, "Don't be afraid, I am with you." Paul, writing to the Romans, said, "If God be for us, who can be against us?" The prophet Isaiah said, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you. Yes, I will uphold you by the right hand of my righteousness."
Even if the worst thing happened, God would be with me in that too. I'm gonna do everything I can to stop it. I'm gonna do everything I can to change it. But see, even if it happens, I am is still with me.
You don't have to be afraid.
Maybe you're in a storm. You didn't plan on it. It was completely unexpected, but you're in the middle of it and you're wondering if you'll survive. Could be a physical storm. Maybe it's a relational storm with your spouse, your kids, your parents, or a friend. Maybe your financial boat is getting rocked by heavy waves. You're sinking deeper and deeper in debt and wondering if you'll ever be able to get your head above water again. Maybe it's an emotional storm. For you, the storm is internal. You're fighting a battle no one else can see with depression, anxiety, or fear. You're in a storm. In Matthew chapter 8, the disciples found themselves in a literal storm on the Sea of Galilee. We pick it up in verse 23. Then Jesus got into the boat and his disciples followed him. Without warning, a furious storm came up on the lake so that the waves swept over the boat. Now, before we even really start the story, I have to share with you an important fact. The disciples followed Jesus into that boat. If you go back to verse 18, you read this. When Jesus saw the crowd around him, he gave orders to cross to the other side of the lake. It was Jesus' plan. It was Jesus' idea to be in that boat, on that sea, at that time. This may be the most important thing you learn today. Storms come even when you're following Jesus. If you're in a storm and you're wondering where you went wrong, I want to encourage you. This storm doesn't necessarily mean you've missed God. Some storms are of your own making. But often, storms come even though you're following Jesus.
God is attracted to a grateful heart. An attitude of gratitude brings both His presence and His blessings. God is attracted to grateful hearts. Consider this, and I bet it's a verse that you know. Psalm 100 and verse 4. Enter into His gates with thanksgiving or gratitude, and His courts with praise. Be thankful unto Him and bless His name. Through thanksgiving, we enter into His gates.
You can't think of one story or one person. You've not watched one movie or read a book. There's no person in your life who has done or is currently pursuing something significant who at some point didn't get smashed in the mouth. They all did. Be that by life or a circumstance. Well, it'll be the common storyline shared between all great people who accomplish great things and experience an abundant life. What do they all have in common? Here are some in common things that would not be on the list, okay? They all experienced a smash in the mouth free life. That's how they had a good life. No. They all made a rigid plan years ago, and everything always went exactly as planned without the need to flex or risk or adapt anything. That's their key to success. Do you know anybody like that? Their recipe for growing success in their life was making excuses and blaming other people and playing the victim card and rarely doing what they said they were gonna do. That was their road to greatness. How about everybody and every voice in their life agreed with them every day and supported them all along the way? Is that anybody's story? How about they did it all by themselves and didn't need help from anybody else? No. You can't name one person who's living a significant life who didn't run into a wall called, well, that's not how I thought it was gonna be, and then had to figure out and be willing to go with a new plan. We all have to do that, all right? Didn't have to shake off blame and excuses and disappointment by and from the most heartbreaking sources in their life and point to their story and say, I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep going. They all had to do that.
I always like to say that some people are like scaffolding. You put scaffolding around the building to help build a wall, and when the wall is built, you remove the scaffolding. Sometimes God brings people in your life to help build something, and then when that is built, He removes those people, and you're crying, you're like, why are you God removing those people? It's because the purpose and the reason for which they came has been accomplished, and God is taking them now, and now you can enjoy that building. Now you can see the vision clearly, and you can move forward.
Think about Jesus. Think about Jesus. You've heard that old cliche, you become whatever you think about most. Well, you think about Jesus, guess what you're going to become like Jesus.
I just want to encourage some of you, if you've been living with a lifetime of pain, there is still reason to live. There's reason to be free. Not every painful thing we go through is the result of something that we've done. God is not a tit for tat God. Thank God for that. I may have made some mistakes, but I am not a mistake.
We need God in all of our ways. You say, what about this in my life? Can I take that to God? What about this small, petty thing in my life? What about this thing in my life that I'm so ashamed of that I've never told anyone about it? Can I take that to God? The answer is yes, 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 yes. Everything, all your ways, take it to God. In the lightest, easiest things, take them to God. In the heaviest, darkest things, take them to God.
You may not know exactly what to do right now. You may not understand what course of action would be best for you to take, but friend, don't despair. God is going to help you. You see, the fight's not over if you've been knocked down. It's only over if you quit. And you don't have to quit. Maybe the devil has knocked you down. Maybe you've taken a knockdown concerning your finances lately. You're laying on the mat, gasping, and you don't know what you're going to do. You're a bit perplexed. Maybe it's with your kids, maybe with your marriage, maybe with your health, maybe some other arena of life. Maybe you received some news recently that just sort of knocked the wind out of you. You didn't see it coming. And you feel like you've been knocked down. Well, you know, Paul said that he faced trouble on every side. There were times when he didn't know what to do. And he said there were times that we have been struck down, we have been knocked to the ground. He said, but we're not destroyed. God's not through with you, my friend. The last chapter of your story has not been written. Don't quit on God. Don't quit on His goodness. Corrie ten Boom said we need to believe that God is good even though life sometimes throws you reasons to think that He's not. And that was from a woman that spent many years in a German prison camp.